All right, let's get straight to it. We are not here to discuss a book. We are here to deconstruct the operating system of power. And your participation? It isn't optional. You're already in the game. The entire point of this briefing is to give you a functional, practical understanding of the mechanics of human influence. This isn't about morality, it's about physics. Power operates in the social world the same way gravity operates in the physical one. It affects you whether you believe in it or not. And that brings us to the core, non-negotiable premise. You will either learn to see these patterns and use them for your own defense and advancement, or you will have them used against you. There is no third option. Every workplace, every social circle, every single negotiation is a field of play. And the person who refuses to understand power doesn't become immune to it. No, they become its most predictable victim. So consider this explainer, your rulebook. You know, the 48 laws can really be distilled down to just 3 core mechanics. Master these, and you master the system. So what are they? First, you control how you are seen. Second, you control what you reveal. And third, you control how you react. Let's break down that first one. Okay, so mechanic 1. Everything begins with perception, right? Before you even speak a word, people have already made a judgment about you based on your reputation. It's the gatekeeper to all further influence. Law 5 states that reputation is the absolute cornerstone of power. A powerful reputation lets you intimidate and win before the game even begins. It's your most critical asset, and it has to be managed proactively. So, how is this asset managed? Well, the play is almost always subtle. An attacker won't confront you directly, they'll use insinuation, they'll plant seeds of doubt. The counter, because of that, cannot be subtle. You must respond immediately, and you must respond publicly. Any delay, any silence at all will be read as an admission of guilt. In the modern workplace, this is absolutely critical. Your LinkedIn profile, that is your reputation now. Documenting your wins isn't arrogance, it's strategic defense against someone else stealing your credit. Now here's a counterintuitive move. From Law 1, never outshine the master. Let your manager present your successes. It makes them look good, turning them into an ally, not a rival. You're controlling their perception of you as an asset, not a threat. Let's move to the second mechanic, and you'll see how these things build on each other. If perception is your shield, then concealment, that's your blade. The less your opponent knows about your true intentions, the less they can possibly do to stop you. The fundamental mistake that most people make is believing transparency is some kind of virtue. Strategically, it's a liability. When you openly state your goals, you're just inviting opposition, sabotage, and competition. You're showing them exactly where to build their defenses. A primary tool for concealment is the smokescreen. Now, this isn't about lying, it's about misdirection. You talk endlessly about a plausible but secondary goal. You appear sincere. All the while, you are moving your pieces toward your real objective, completely unobserved. To use this in a negotiation, you might feign confusion. It can make your counterpart over-explain, revealing their strategy and their weaknesses. The counter to this requires discipline. You have to ignore their words and watch only their actions. Actions are the only reliable data, and you should be immediately suspicious of anyone who seems a little too transparent. They are almost certainly using a smokescreen. This brings us to the final and, frankly, the most decisive mechanic. You can manage perception and conceal your strategy perfectly, but if you cannot control your own emotions, you will fail. An emotional reaction is a surrender of power. Law 39 is explicit about this. Anger is a strategic error. When you're angry, you're not thinking. Your opponent wants you to be angry, to be fearful, to be emotional. Why? Because an emotional opponent is a predictable opponent, and a predictable opponent is a defeated one. The goal is to remain calm while they lose their composure. Just look at the perfect inverse relationship here. As your emotional reaction rises, your capacity for strategic thought plummets. As your control goes down, your opponent's advantage goes up. Every outburst, every frustrated sigh, every defensive reply is just a gift you're handing to the other side. So how do you defend your own emotional state? First, you have to recognize when someone is deliberately trying to provoke you, to stir the waters. Second, you must master the strategic pause. When you're provoked, your most powerful response is no response at all. Let the silence hang. Let them become uncomfortable. Let them be the one to overreact, because in that moment, they will show you their entire hand. So now you have the three core mechanics: perception, concealment, and emotion. Your first move is to apply this knowledge defensively. That is the single most important application. Your ultimate defense is just awareness. It's about recognizing these patterns in real time. When a colleague takes credit for your work, you recognize Law 7. When another seems to be telling you all their plans, you see the smokescreen of Law 3. When a salesperson creates some artificial urgency to rush your decision, you see Law 35 in action. You don't have to become a ruthless manipulator, but you absolutely must be able to see the board clearly. Seeing the game is the first and most critical step to not becoming its victim. This knowledge is a tool, and like any tool, it can be used for constructive or destructive purposes. The responsibility for how you use this information now rests entirely with you. The briefing is complete.